lovely and beautiful Kade Hill.
Hey, hey.
John Estrada.
Not handsome.
You're not gonna get that from me. She might say it. Go ahead and say it.
The handsome
There you go.
Mr.
I
Estrada.
And Kristen Hallom.
Hey, hey, how's it
The
going?
beautiful.
Thank
Kristen
you.
Hallom. See, I can say it. I say it. I can't say it. I'm sorry, man.
You're talking. I'm just messing.
Now, before I move forward to you guys again, I wanted to talk to Lillie about your book, The Purple Cinderella. Explain to us what's behind. How many books you got?
I have 3 books that I have written.
Nice.
Wait.
The first one is The Purple Cinderella, Surviving Multiple Childhood Rapists.
Okay.
And my second, this is my autobiography, The Purple Cinderella. And my second book, The Story of Kate, Small Town Girl with Big Dreams. It's a fictional story, but with some of my life experiences in it.
Okay.
And then last but not least, my book, The Red Lipstick Hustler, Set the World on Fire. It talks about being in the industry.
Oh, okay.
And then some of my experiences that I have gone through while being in the industry. And then it kind of goes back to this because I wrote my book and got sued by one of my abusers. So I wrote about that experience in this book.
Oh, wow. Like, okay. Okay. You want to try to sue me about this? I'm going to talk about you. Yeah. I'm not scared of you.
I like that.
About, you know what I mean? But
You're like, I'm
it
not
was
scared of
a
you.
very hard time for me, but I walked out of there when, without being burned. You know how Shadrach Abednego. You know what I mean? So I came out without being burned.
Amen.
You know, the thing that about being in this country is you can write about whatever you want, as long as you don't say names.
Well, you can mention nicknames and first names. You still can be sued, which I did. But the thing is, I only mention name one time.
Oh, wow.
But it doesn't matter. You can't. It's legal to mention first names and nicknames, but you can't. It's like it's hard to explain it.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain it, but you can't just say their whole name and just make it. Everything just about that person. But you can tell your story. You may still get sued as I did, but my book is still out. So praise God.
But it's still like, isn't it kind of easy to just make up a different name? Or?
Yes, it is. But when I was writing my book, I was writing from what God put inside of me and brought it out. Because I had never written a book before, ever. I didn't know how to write a book. And I was just amazed that I wrote my book and had it out and published in 43 hours. I probably went to the bathroom 3 times in that whole time period. I sat up on my bed. My daughter would bring me something to eat. And because it was so emotional for me to write this book, I had to put it down for a moment, go back to it, you know what I mean? Shed a couple of tears while I write, you know what I mean? But I thank God I had written it because it was healing for me to write my book. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, in writing the book, because obviously it was something that you needed to repair. And a lot of times when people when they write their books, it's like a healing for them.
Healing process for me. It was part
when did you decide that I need to write this book? Like, at what point in your life?
For many years, I would suppress everything that happened to me. I wouldn't talk about it. Then whenever I would mention it when I was young, like in middle school, people thought I was crazy. So I was like, I'm not going to talk about it no more because people say I'm crazy. And then for years, I didn't talk about it. Every now and then, I have 2 other sisters. We would talk about it sometimes because I found out in my adult years that it was happening to them as well. So
to your sisters?
Yeah. So it was happening to them as well. And then I put it back because I felt like I couldn't deal with it in the moment. Anytime I would think about it, I thought I was ready to confront the things that have happened to me. It was so much that I couldn't deal with it. And I knew that, honestly, I felt like if I would have dealt with it, me raising a daughter by myself, it wouldn't have been healthy at that moment for her or me, because I don't want nobody to come take my child, you know what I mean? Because mama has gone crazy. Right. You know what I mean? It could be so much you could actually lose your mind. So I suppressed it as long as I could, and it got to a place where I was going to commit suicide, and I couldn't suppress it anymore. So I had to face it, and I had to go through that moment considering suicide to get to where I am today. It sounds a little odd, but God took me there because it was a moment when I just only had God to depend on in that moment, and prayer just to depend on, to pull myself out of that dark moment where I do not commit suicide. So I was glad to have that moment because it was a pivotal moment. And sometimes you have to go to the darkness to see the light. So Then I birthed this book, I birthed my book just a little after considering suicide because it was part of my healing process. But writing a book is not easy, and I tell people it's rejoiceful as well. And it takes you to this place where you go through the pain, but once you finish it up, God, thank you. Thank you for this moment. You know what I mean? Because a healing process, you're going to go through the pain. You're going to relive all those dark moments again. But it is important to relive them again. It's dangerous in some sense, because I tell people it can be dangerous, because I would have dealt with it when I was younger. I wasn't mature enough to be able to deal with it. And I probably would have ended up in a place for mentally ill people. But thing happens on God's timing, and it was the timing and the moment for it. Even though I tried to fight it, because like weeks before I was considering suicide, I was sitting in my bathtub, and I actually thought about taking a razor and just cut myself up. And I'm not crazy. Right. I was like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? You know, you have to grab your mind sometimes. And I went on by my day, but it kept catching up with me. And then it got to a point, which I don't want to tell all the story. I was lying in my bed one night, and I keep a hunting knife in my nightstand where I was living at that moment. I was laying in my bed that night, and something was telling me to kill myself. But I didn't understand. I was like, I just had a good day. I just went to the movies with my boyfriend. What is going on here? And I was like, I'm not crazy. What is going on? But the things kept playing in my head, and dark things, just kept developing. But I'm not going to tell the whole story. I want people to read the book so you can get those things. But it's just that I knew in that moment to pray. That was the only thing going to pull me out of that, because if I didn't pray and know God, I wouldn't be here. Because I have a big hunting knife. It's one of the ones you actually take it and you turn on. So I probably would not be here.
Have you thought of making that into a movie?
Yes, I have. I had a lot of people contact me about it, yes.
So that's coming. Okay, so do you think going through something like that affects your relationships?
It did before I wrote the book. Yes, I had to go through a healing process with that as well, because I didn't trust men for nothing because of what happened to me in my childhood, being molested and raped every day of your life as a child, your entire life. You just feel like you don't trust anybody. Maybe I didn't trust anybody. And the slightest little thing somebody would do close to something somebody did to me, I pull away. And I'm a loner today as well. Not that it's something wrong with me being a loner, but I'm a loner because of my childhood too. Because I just feel like I love people, but once you hurt me, well, God is working with me on that, because I'm I'm learning to keep loving anyway and keep talking to these people even though they're talking about me. But I enjoy being a loner because of the situation. But I had to learn to trust men and to love the black man, because I had a problem with trying to love a man. I would date and enjoy them for certain reasons, but I wouldn't love them. And I know that sounds odd. And I had never been in love till I got in my 40s. But I had to go through what I went through, and I wrote about it in my book, and I went through this healing process. Just that the healing didn't stop at the point when I wrote the book, no. So I'm at the point in my life where I had to learn how to love, and I had to learn how to love unconditionally and don't hold everything against a man because what the men did to me when I was young. Because I was doing it for many years. Many, many years.
Wow. So the story of Kate, what was the process behind that? Because you say it's a fictional story.
Writing this book, because the career choice that my daughter was choosing, some of the things this is a fictional story, but some of the things I did in life that were not that great, I put it in this book, but it's a fictional story. So people are like, well, which ones was your experience? I say it's for me to know and you to find out. So that's how I did that. But the story of Kate is a book about. Let me go back. I'm going to read the back description to the Purple Cinderella, then I read the back description. The Purple Cinderella. I am the Purple Cinderella. I got my glass slipper back at the beautiful age of 38. What led me to that moment was a life full of heartache and pain. I found myself at the point of suicide. In that pivotal moment, I got my glass slipper back, my life. I walked around dead inside for many years. My heart-wrenching childhood took me there. I was raped by my adult stepbrothers, some of my adults step-uncles, some of my adult step-cousins, and other men. They all stole a part of Cinderella's glass slipper. I became used to this childhood torture. I accepted the torture. I even fell in love with the torture. Not only was I made to lie on my back and service the pedophiles, my sister and I were slave labor for my step-family as well, forced to scrub and clean like Cinderella. Heartache and pain continued through my adulthood bandages through my adulthood, bandages, crying inside. But at the pivotal moment of 38, God gave me life. Now I live. I got my glass slipper back.
Amen.
So let me ask you this. Okay. I don't even know how to ask.
You can ask me anything. I'm not the type that's afraid.
Right.
And I know how to, if somebody trying to set up a trap for me, I know how to get myself out of it. I got it. Go ahead.
It's just, so when you just read that, obviously you was molested by several people in your family.
They're not my family. They're my stepmother's people. None of her children are my father's children. My daddy had a home. He moved a lady and her adult children to a home. And then she would have relatives to come over. And then they, the thing is like, they will do things people wouldn't see it. You know what I mean? I would ride to the store with them. I maybe, play with my vagina. Then because of things that was happening to me as a child, I was really bad in school. So when I would get sent home from school, one of my stepbrothers would have me give my oral sex, have sex, and whatever. You know what I mean? It just that I don't know, because even when I had to end up reporting them in 2015, I don't know if they knew that each other was doing this, because they asked me that, the detectives, but it was happening to me, because they was like, well, did you know if they knew? I don't know. I'm a child. How would I know? You know what I mean?
And how old were you at this time?
It started like when they moved into our home, I had to be no older than 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
And my daddy worked all the time, long hours, so he didn't know. Then he ended up going blind from his diabetes. So that even made it more easy. He had to retire, so it made it easy for them to do whatever
Yeah, because he
they
couldn't
wanted
see
to do.
anything
Yeah.
that was on. So you really had no protection, like nobody to...
No, none.
Nobody... Okay.
And then I didn't
made
even
my
know what was
skin
going on
crawl
to my
just
others. Well,
thinking
wait a minute, I
about
got to back it up. So one of my other sisters, she actually tried to kill herself when we was children, but I'm a child, so, even though it's happened to me, and the thing is, I tell people, I actually began to like it. It happened so long, I liked it. But it was when it happened to one of my other sisters, it kept happening to her, she tried to kill herself, and she ended up going in the hospital. So me being a child, I'm still not understanding what's going on, because people, they tell children, why didn't you tell her? Why you this? You are a child, and if it's happening to you every day, you begin to like it. Even when people are sex trafficked, they begin to like it, and they'll help them get more children because they don't know better. The mind doesn't know, but you're dealing with a child's mind. So when that happened with my sister, now I was like, okay, it's happening to her too, but still I am a child. You know what I mean? I don't know better.
Wow. Okay, read that one.
Okay, the story of Kate, small town girl with big dreams. Kate was a teen that grew up in a trailer park. Her mom is Caucasian, her dad is black. Kate is a mixed blue-eyed beauty. She got pregnant by her mom's second husband at 17. Her mom put her out. This is when Kate's life began. She got involved in prostitution, drug lords, etc. But in the end, Kate ruled the game, Minister Kate. But for instance, for me, I gave her a daughter, but I gave her a son, gave me a daughter, but it's still a fictional story.
Right.
And I lost my parents very young because my mother left when I was a baby, died when I had to be about 5 or 6. I said 6. So I didn't know her. Then my daddy died when I was 12 and a half years old. So I ended up living from place to place, and then I just got more involved in bad things. But I never got into drugs or drinking it, so that's a good thing, praise God. But with Kate's story, she ended up getting involved in drugs and drug lords, prostitution, different things. But in the end, she ended up finding God. She became a minister herself. Her mom that did this to her ended up getting AIDS, and she was a minister at the church, and she ended up saving her mom. So it's a really good, deep story.
Okay.
And then last but not least, like I stated before, my last debut book, which is The Red Lipstick Hustler Set the World on Fire. A woman with a lot of fire, not afraid to take risks. Lillie is a true diamond, a survivor of a broken childhood filled with vicious acts of sexual, emotional, physical abuse. She refused to allow her past to control her destiny. She set her goals high and worked to achieve them. On the way, she experienced challenges, trials, and tribulations. And overcoming them, she set the world on fire. She burned down the roadblocks with prayer as her weapon, and she walked away unbothered. Being kicked and punched by life, she has never given up. Instead, she continues to succeed while sporting her trademark red lipstick. When asked what is her special power, she replied, with God, prayer, my daughter, and my red lipstick, I set the world on fire.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Wow.
And my books can be purchased at Amazon. All 3 books. So you can also go to my website, www.thepurplecinderella.com. You can get them there. But either you can just go to Amazon, put in the titles to the books, put in my name, bam, get your book. You're going to enjoy it.
Awesome.
Man, you just gave me chills like a million
Yeah.
folds. I was having chills off that, and you
got a survivor sitting next to you.
Man, what?
Awesome.
And you would never know because when I look on your page, you're just so positive and polished.
That's God. It ain't me. That's God.
Like you promote positivity.
Thank you.
Every time I talk to you, you always speak life. You know,
Thank you.
and
When I'm doing it, speaking life to people, I'm actually speaking it to myself as well, like preaching to yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes you giving advice to people. You know what I mean? Because it's like you encouraging others, and that encourages you. It keeps me strong.
wow. Whew. Okay. I don't know where my mind went just then. That was some deep stuff. I just first of all, I have to say well, I don't even want to say congratulations. I just want to say God bless you for
Thank
getting
you.
where you are today.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Because women who've been through what you've been through, they usually don't survive or last this long.
I know because I was told that I was gonna be on drugs, all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like when my daddy died, like it was I don't want to get a story in the book, but my older sister that came to get us, she wasn't coming to get us out of love. My daddy had land, and it was 2 kids with 2 parents dead, so that's a big lump sum of money. And okay, so she didn't come and get us for love. When she came to get us, it wasn't out of love, so she didn't buy us anything. We didn't get anything out of the insurance money. My daddy had insurance money. We didn't get anything. So I ended up living from place to place.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thank God that I am here to tell my story because I was told I was going to be on drugs. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And because I was told those things, it gives me fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it kept me from getting into so many.
Fusion.
I wasn't the best of child because I was young, living from place to place, getting into
Right,
everything.
right.
But watching my stepmother as a young girl, I was young, watched them pump my stepmother back to life from being an alcoholic. I don't want to drink. Yeah. Watching my stepbrothers do drugs. At the time I was young, so I didn't understand that. When I got grown, I realized what they did. They used to put stuff on the beer can and smoke it. I didn't know what it was. I was a young child. So me seeing those things, and then when I got grown and old enough to realize, even in my teen years, what drugs was, really, me watching them, I didn't know better. But it taught me, I don't want to do drugs, you know what I mean? But even like when I would go live with friends, my teen years, they would tell me, you ain't going to be nothing. You know what I mean? I was always told that, but because I was told that, I fought more to not be that. And the whole idea of doing drugs, I was like, oh, no, I'm not. And I stuck to that. No, I'm not. I'm not going to end up on drugs. No matter what people tell me. I'm not going to be any of those things y'all said I'm going to be. I done things wrong, but I'm not going to be any of those things y'all tell me I'm going to be. And I stuck to it. And I made sure I had to be a great person for my daughter because I wrote about this in my book, which I ended up getting pregnant and dropped out of high school. But I went and got my GED. I paid to go to beauty school myself. I didn't wait on Uncle Sam to pay for anything. I paid to go to college myself. I went to Spartanburg Technical College. I paid for that myself. I did that for my daughter to see this is what you're supposed to do because I'm not a school person. I don't like school. I'm real. I'm not the type of person like sitting somewhere because I have a hard time listening to other people tell me what to do because I've been on my own so long. I had to make grown-up decisions at a young age. I didn't have nobody to guide me. I can't sit long like that. I'm just being honest. But I did it for my daughter because I want my daughter to know this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to college and make something for yourself. I wanted my daughter to see me walk across that stage and get my diploma. So it was important. That was. But it was never about me. Yeah. Because I am not a school person. I tell people the truth. I go do it because that's why I need to get ahead in life. But it wasn't about me.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all, I got emotional.
No, you good.
Yeah.
You good, man. I just didn't know. Like that was okay. I'm just thankful that
And I'm
you
gonna tell y'all something. For many years, I couldn't cry. I didn't never cry as a child. I would get beatings, never shed a tear. They were with me more because I wouldn't cry. So I went many years just thinking, but you don't cry. And then that moment, think about committing suicide, I cried and cried for hours. But it was a sad moment, but it was a moment of relief because I felt good. I felt cleansed after all that crying. I mean, I cried. I didn't know how to stop crying. But I felt good because I went many years and never cried. So now I'm easy to cry about every little thing. I feel like, God, why did you break that? Now I end up crying when I don't want to cry.
You had to get it all out.
The enemy tried to take you out, but God has a bigger plan for you and so much more that he has in store for you.
Thank you.
You definitely have to do a move.
Yeah.
I anticipate on it. I just do think on God's time. I don't take every offer people put in front of me.
Yeah, good.
I just don't.
And that's
Because
what's important.
this guy, he got somebody to work on doing his movie, and he was like, the lady want to buy your story for $250,000. I said, no. $250,000 is a lot of money. Yes, I could definitely use it. But I said, no. Then I had a guy to contact me from LA. He was like, we want to buy the rights to your story. And we emailed each other back and forth, but he told me he wanted me to come out to LA and everything, but I don't really necessarily I don't want to sell the rights to my story. That's not what I want to do.
Right.
It's your story.
This is you.
Yeah,
That's
this
all
is my
you.
life.
That's you.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell the rights to my
Yeah,
story.
you just like giving your life away to somebody. I don't
No,
know.
and I was like, I can't do that. Because at first I didn't even know what he meant. Because when the other person approached me, they just wanted to give me $250,000. They wanted to do the movie on my story. But I felt like God is more than just that.
Yeah.
It's bigger than just that. So if I do it, I want to be purpose, with a huge purpose. And if I feel like I'm going to sell something, $250,000 is not enough, which I don't have that right now. I'm not going to front. But that's not enough. That's just
That
not
movie,
enough.
that's like a 2-part movie, 3-part movie. Like you had lived a life. And I am very
Good
I'm
for
just-
you for
I know,
Yeah.
man. You made it through.
Thank you.
You made it through.
Yeah.
And you here to able to talk about it. And you're gonna definitely help some other people get through it. Because
Thank you.
It's a lot of people that go through a lot of that you've been going through.
And when I wrote my book, I had men to contact me, and they told me they never talked about it with anyone, but they told me, thank you for writing your book. And I have had people that's in bigger places than us they contact me. It was like, thank you for writing your book. And I couldn't believe these people actually bought my book and they was messaging me.
Right.
I was just amazed because men, they have a hard time talking about they've been molested,
Oh yeah.
They have a hard time talking about it. And then to open up to me, it really touched me. I was like, God, this is amazing. It's amazing. And it's not a good thing that happens to anyone. But to talk about it and be able to help people is what's so beautiful about it.
You're an amazing woman.
Thank
I've said
you.
that before.
We are all amazing.
You are a queen. And you
Thank
always
you.
say that to men.
I
You
look
say
at all
that to
women
me.
and men as kings and queens. And if you don't look at yourself as that, okay. Because I work on a set where I would call people there and people weren't used to something like that. They thought I was crazy. They'd be looking at me, and they would talk about me. I said, well, if you don't look at yourself, that's fine. But to me, I look at you as that. They was like, she come up in with this queen stuff. They didn't know how to handle it because I come in there every morning, and it was like a lot of them. They was just, and I guess they was like, ooh, you know what I mean? But okay,
It be, I can tell
Yeah.
it be throwing them off.
yeah.
They be like, where's she from?
She great. But I was like, well, maybe no one ever told you that. But I'm gonna tell you that today, and I'll give them a hug.
Nice.
Man, that was deep what you just
That
said.
was
So
deep.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm telling you, you have definitely shed some light on a lot of stuff just now. So I got people on here like someone Dominique Hill said, I hope Wardell was mentally prepared for the deepness of the night show. I wasn't, but thank you.
You didn't know you was, but you was prepared.
Yeah, you was prepared. Everything
Yeah.
happens for a reason.
Yeah.
This is not by coincidence. I
Nah.
believe that everything
Nah.
happens for a reason. And Lillie, you are so strong.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
have not gone through anything like that, and I'm sitting here like.
But I asked God, I was
Yeah.
like, God, how am I strong? Because some days I don't feel strong, but I just keep going. And I keep remembering, spirit of love, put out the spirit of love. Like I
Right.
said, some days I don't want to do what God said
Right.
do.
Yeah.
But I still do it. But I'm not going to lie. I don't be want to because after I don't got punched and kicked through the day dealing with people and you don't understand why they not liking you, I don't be wanting to be in the spirit of love. But I
Right.
continue to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Even though I don't want to, I ain't gonna tell you no lie, because some people ain't gonna be honest and they'll be like, oh, the spirit all day long. I don't do this. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna tell you no lie because I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near perfect.
Right. I believe God's going to use you to set so
Yes.
many captives free.
Thank
you.
There's so
That's
many
what I was
people watching
saying.
you.
Yeah, that's you. All that's you. Don't
And I like
give
to
none
tell
of
the
that
truth
away.
in my books because when I wrote The Purple Cinderella, I didn't put all the goody two shoes stuff. God said, told me, tell the truth, put it in the raw. Because I even put it in the raw, like when I got sent home from school one day, I put it in the raw how my stepbrother made me give him oral sex. I want people to visualize this and know this could be happening in your home. This could be happening at your church. It can be happening
Yeah.
anywhere. Because if you don't put it in the raw, people don't grasp it. They don't get it. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are like, why did you do it that way? Because God told me to.
Yeah.
And I wrote it very raw because I want people to understand this can be happening. If you baby people with everything, they're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
They won't get it. That's why I was listening to you, and I admire when you said that you wanted them to roar and how she took it there, the young girl, 16 years old.
Yeah.
Because it's imperative to take it there, because if you don't, people lose interest really fast.
Right.
If you don't get their attention in the first minute or 30 seconds,
They lose interest. Yeah. And if they can't relate to it, or if it's not real for them, they're not going to get the lesson that you're trying to put out.
Yeah.
Wade Moore, your sister,
You want
said
it?
Lillie is a beautiful person. Love your realness.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, y'all can call in the show if y'all want to talk.
Yeah, just call in.
The number is 678-619-1402. That's 678-619-1402. How can people get your book? What's the website?
They can go to my website, www.thepurplecinderella.com, or you can just go automatically to amazon.com and put in a search. If you want to get The Purple Cinderella, put in The Purple Cinderella, Lillie Young, and purchase it that way.
Okay.
Also, with the story of Kate, Small Town Girl with Big Dreams, you can do that as well. You can go to my website, www.thepurplecinderella.com. Or again, you can go to amazon.com, put in the title of the book, and put in my name, audiobook. Again, the Red Lipstick Hustler Set the World on Fire. It's the same. You can go to my website. You can purchase it at www.thepurplecinderella.com. You can go to Amazon, put in the Red Lipstick Hustler Set the World on Fire by Lillie Young, and make your purchase. All three books are powerful, and it takes you from heartache and pain to redemption.
Okay. All right. Y'all heard it right here on WCEGwood, Hollywood of the South. Now, back to my guest.
Ooh, that's a tough.
I know, right? That's a tough act to follow, right? I'm like, what do I do from here? No. So what's next for you? Kade, like, you doing this, you just is it done?
It's done. It's done.
Is it in post-production or? It's
in post-production.
Okay.
We are premiering it this fall, like early fall, late summer. We're thinking September-ish.
Yeah.
So we're going to premiere it there, but we're already working on the second film, which is another script that John wrote. It's a play, so we're going to transform it into the
We'll be at
film.
your premiere.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be
Come
there
on
for
out.
sure. I got to promote now. You got to come because we're going to have to promote, and I want people to come out and see because especially the human trafficking is so huge here in Atlanta, and a lot of people just don't want to talk about it. And when we do talk about it, a lot of people who watch the show and they hear it, they're like, really? Like
they're blaming
don't
the
know that
children
it's
too. I heard
them.
people blaming children. That really just makes me mad. It upsets me when they do that to children.
Yeah.
Even grown women can be sex trafficked as well.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Because I met a lady. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No.
Well, no, you good.
I met a lady because I hosted a Stop Sex Trafficking event back in 2014, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I met a school teacher. She was 26 when they got her. A Caucasian lady. They took her overseas though, and she ended up getting back here though because she told her story at the thing. So it doesn't matter how old you are because it was an older lady not too long giving her story. I saw it on Instagram about it. They was trying to. They also do organ. What you call it? They do that too. Yeah.
They just found a
that's what sex trafficking is doing. All that now. Sex trafficking, they doing all of that now.
Right.
But they was trying to get this old lady. So it doesn't matter by age. It doesn't matter by age, and it happens to boys, men, anybody. They can make money off it. They don't
recently
care.
found out that they were taking young boys too.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, no, that has been going on. We just didn't know it was.
I didn't. I was like,
but it's really, really, really bad. And Atlanta is the hub for it. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's sad and it's disgusting.
And I mean, they're getting very crafty too.
Yeah.
I heard a story where they came as defects and they knocked on a lady's door. They had paperwork and said, "We're here to take your child." And she was like, "Wait a minute, I need to call." And when she called, they were like, "No, we don't have anything on file." So everybody has to
You got to be
watch
careful.
and be careful.
They even going as far to pretend that Uber and Lyft now.
Yeah,
they
Uber and
pretending because they got scanners. They can scan and get those things and go pick up somebody from the airport. This lady, I posted about it yesterday. They went to the airport and pretended they was picking this lady because they had a scanner that picked it up, and she didn't get in the car. But some people they're getting done like that.
Yeah.
But this lady had enough sense not to get in the car. She's like, "Wait a minute, that's not the car that they told me was going to send me." They're getting very crafty, sex traffickers. And the sad thing, it be people, they can work a good job. They can be an attorney. And they good. Seem like they're good people. But they got this going on in their life. And they go home to their family and their kids. And you you involved in with taking other people's children.
Right.
But in their mind, it's nothing wrong. It's sickening.
Yeah, I think they said it was like 64% of grown men here in Atlanta live in the suburbs.
Yeah.
And they
and they're rich. They're the rich. like high power people.
It's crazy.
Greedy, crazy. No, I'm not even gonna say they're crazy. They're mentally ill. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know what
they're
so sad.
doing. And through this project, we were actually able to meet a lot of people who live this lifestyle. I got to sit down with Janice Shelton. She has a foundation called Our Children's Keeper, and I did a Facebook Live video with her. That was the day I found out, okay, this sex trafficking thing is real. Because she actually goes undercover to try to save people out of it. She was saying how it's football players, it's political people, it's people in the police force. So I was just like, wow.
Yeah, police force are behind it. It's always people. They try to get people in those positions because they feel like they can be protected.
Right.
If something happens.
Right.
And they fall for it and they pay them.
And all they think about is the money. The police officer, all they think about is just that money. Their mind is focused on that money. Well, I didn't think I was doing wrong. That's their excuse. I didn't think I was doing wrong.
You know what's crazy? At my job, we help clients in setting up new accounts, and so this one guy, he's always emailing me, "Hey, can you help me out with this, and that?" And I said, "Oh, okay." And he lives here in Atlanta, and I said, I started to send them out, like, to let them know about the premiere, but it's like the Lord stopped me because it was just like, he can be one of those too, and although he might tell you, in face value, like, hey, yeah, I'll support it, but he's probably one of those guys too. I don't know, like something just stopped me.
If you felt it in your spirit, that's what it is. Always go with your first thought, your third eye, whatever people want to call it. Go with that.
Yeah, because I was just like, wow, it's you just never know, man. It's like old
so
young.
When you wrote the script, did you have that knowledge of sex trafficking at the time, or?
It's like I just started seeing more and more of it, or hearing stories about it, and I just started taking stories. The one I think I shared with you about how I got this one scene. This one young girl I saw on 60 Minutes. She went to live with her aunt. And her aunt, did so many things to her. She ended up going to foster care, but she thought she was going to a safe place, and
a lot of those foster parents, they doing it too.
Yeah. Right.
It's sad.
Wow.
It's a scary situation.
Wow, so you're just not safe anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes you very paranoid. Like even our first table read, one of our sponsors, Minister Annie Bell, she's actually a survivor, and she's really big on sex trafficking. She came in and she did an entire PowerPoint presentation to kind of educate the cast on the reality of sex trafficking, to help them get into their mind frame of what they were going to be doing.
And that was good for you to have that set up.
Yeah. Because it blew my mind when I was like, okay, I wrote the story, but I had no idea all of this was happening. So like the series has more of the information, all the real facts. All the real facts.
Can't wait to be a part of that.
No, I was just saying, like, the one thing that she did talk to me, like she talked about too, was just like how there's families that are born into it. You have what's so-called Romeo pimps. They sweeten out these young girls or boys, and buy them things. And I was listening to a radio show, and they were saying that a lot of them, they'll go into social media, and these teenagers, they'll start complaining about their parents, how their parents treat them bad, and they're so strict, and then they just creep in that way, and they say, well, I'll treat you better, why don't we meet up somewhere? And then next thing you know, it's one thing after another, and like you said, next thing you know, they're in another country.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you about a situation that happened to me when I moved here to Atlanta, because I look younger than what my age is.
Definitely. I had no idea you had a college daughter.
I was at SunTrust Bank, and this guy was behind me in line. I'm not really paying him any attention, so I'm leaving out. He didn't even go to the counter. He followed me out and followed me to my car. He was like, well, how about I take you out of this? I was like, no. He told me, well, I have this modeling thing, and you'll be perfect for it. That's how they do you when you that mess.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, okay, so I want you to meet the lady. She does the scouting and everything. So I end up, I didn't drive that night. He actually wanted to pick me up. So I said, okay, you can pick me up. I didn't let him know which building I live in, which apartment, because he had to go in the building, so he wouldn't have known. But still I'm gonna tell y'all the story. So he took me to meet this lady. She had okay, she might be still living here, so I don't know if I want to say that. Anyway, he took me to meet this lady. And I was like, okay. And then I kind of stood a little back because I felt unsafe because it was downtown in a nice apartment building. Mm-hmm. But when we went in there, they went out on the, like, I guess, you know, you live in a building, they got like the pool and everything. So they had me to go out to that area with them. And she kept looking at me. Then she told me, come here, I want to talk to you for a moment. So she was whispering stuff to him. And something just was not setting well with this situation with me because I was like, this is something for Marlon. Why is it at night they have me to come meet them? You know what I mean? Then she ain't even talking to me. And then he came back up. He said, well, she like your look and everything, but she actually wants you to go out of town with us. Can you go out of town with us? I take you to get some clothes. But I was like, I don't think I'm going to go out of town with you. I said it like that. I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that because I have to go to work in the morning. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. But I felt it in my spirit. Something was not right.
Yeah.
Something was not right. Because at night, you don't do business at night, which I shouldn't have went anyway.
Right.
But I was like, you don't do business at night. So it's time.
We got somebody calling in. This is Wardell Richardson on WCEGwood. May I ask who's calling?
Hi.
Hey.
All right.
Okay.
We have a live crowd.
Ruffling some feathers.
But anyway, I'm going to end the story quick. The guy, when he took me here, I said, God, I do not want this man to find out which apartment I live in. Because you know how the apartments where I lived, it was on Collier Road. And you had to walk in the building. And then I lived upstairs in an apartment. Let me tell you something. When he let me out of that car, I went in that door, shut the door, and I got down in the corner. I did not go up to my apartment until I heard that man pull off.
Right.
I stayed down because he sat there for a while and didn't pull off. I was like, God, please let him leave. Please. And he sat there for a while in that car. I don't know if he wanted to see which apartment I was going up to.
Right.
I didn't do it. I got down in the corner because, you know, the glass is at the top. Mm-hmm. You could see which apartments am I going. Mm-hmm. So I got down in the corner by the door and I stayed there until that man put off. And I did not go up to my apartment. Then 2 months later, I moved. I was like, this man know where I live at, which my lease was coming up anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to end. So, but I didn't feel, I think it was some kind of sex trafficking situation. But they had only real pretty girls. And then it was.
This Wardell Richardson on WCEGwood. May I ask who's calling?
I'm too young to be there. That is strange.
That is weird. So that was very smart. Very smart.
And thank God he brought you home.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could have been going somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a fighter. They would have had to probably kill me.
Yeah.
I would have been yelling up a storm and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's next for you?
Well, the next film and definitely more writing.
More writing?
More writing.
Okay. So now y'all just became a little awesome team now, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I just feel, comfortable, and the Lord showed me that, we were supposed to work together, and I'm excited for what the future is going to bring, for the new projects we have coming out together. So it's two creative minds going, working together and impacting the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right. Everything with a purpose.
jeez, you want to get on that?
That is weird. What is going on? And what is next for you?
I've actually started writing myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I really feel like, again, with this purpose journey, that a part of that is me telling my story, and using that as a way to encourage other people. And so my mom's always like the create, don't wait.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
My mom is like, and you hear it, but my mom is always like, I'll tell her about a production that I might have gotten casted for or something, and she'll be like, okay, that's great, but when are you going to start writing? Or why are you not writing your own material? Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, okay. And the more I continue, I feel like, yes, I got to get this story down. I got to really tell my story, because even from where I'm from, the journey that God has taken me and the opportunities that he's given me, and sometimes I get a little emotional even talking about it, because I'm so grateful. God is so good. I really want to be like, I really want to be an encouragement. Like, I really want people to look. Yeah, I want them to see, dream. Like, it doesn't matter your circumstances. It doesn't matter what you've been through. Dream. You can dream and you can do it. Like, do I think that I would have been able to even pursue acting now? At a younger age, I knew that was something I wanted to do. But to now actually be walking in it, it's a beautiful thing. Like, it is. And I want to be that encouragement. So
You are.
Yeah, motivation.
You don't have to want to be. You are.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Continue to be able to tell stories and characters, like meaningful films. I definitely want to do that. Create my story. Like, I want to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And motivational speaking.
Yeah. Use the word "I am" more often. Look in the mirror and say "I am," because that's things I wrote in my book, The Red Lipstick Hustle, that I say every morning to myself. I am. You are encouraged.
Yes.
You are everything you saying. Yeah. So I am is two powerful words.
So obviously you have a lot of ambition and a lot of dreams and stuff, and it's gonna happen for you.
And you exude happiness. You don't even realize it, that what you're giving off right now. You exude encouragement. You're empowering us.
Thank you.
You don't even realize it.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
I got to tell y'all a story about Kristen's her audition.
Okay.
So Kristen came in for the part of Mia, which we had already casted before she came in. And before she came in, John and I were like, okay, so do we go out there and tell all the Mias that we found our person? Because we both were like, okay, this is our Mia. We're like, you know what? Let them come in and we'll still audition some more people. Okay.
This Wardell Richardson on WCEGwood. May I ask who's calling?
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. Who's calling?
I'm watching the live stream.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
Hey.
What's your
What's
name?
going on?
Huh? What's your name?
My name is Aaron.
Okay. You have any questions or anything, Aaron?
Yeah. I got a question for you guys. Like, do you guys own a tree in your backyard? Like, anywhere?
Yes.
That's somebody trying to find
Hello?
where you live.
Hello?
Did he actually have a tree in the backyard?
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. We're ruffling some feathers because a lot of people.
And those type of people will call quick.
Yeah.
And they quick to attack.
Yeah.
That is crazy. They ain't never got called like this on this show. But anyway.
But yeah, so back to Kristen's
audition.
She walked in, blew us away. I mean, I don't know if you second guess yourself, Kristen, but you walked out and you left us speechless. That's why we had to create a role for her, because we could not let her walk out without putting her in this movie. Phenomenal.
So you didn't have that role for her originally?
We had that role. We had someone we thought would, because Kristen's young. We had someone older in mind. You know what I mean? As the mother, but we could not let her go. We were like, we're gonna have to make this work. We're gonna have to use makeup. We're gonna have to make this work because she has to be in this film.
Cause when you said that she was the mother,
But to me, I see motherly spirit from her.
Right, and she gave us that. She gave us exactly what we were looking for.
And was this the first project you done, or had you done something before it?
I've done like other independent projects.
Okay.
And I did like the commercial that I originally did.
Right.
So most of them's been independent projects, and then a few projects with like SCAD students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right, and now you're looking to do your own project, writing some scripts, and I guess being around two writers, you would.
As well as so I definitely want to write, but my my true desire is for God to use me in whatever way that He's going to use me. So if He sees fit to, cast me in another film, I'm not, at this point, it's show me and order my steps and show me what it is that you want me to do. As I, of course, walk in it. So take action. I'm not just sitting around waiting. So.
Wow. Y'all, everybody at this table has been really deep today. I don't know if I think the people I ask to come in the studio always come in at the right time. It's always the right bunch of people.
Yeah.
So I have to say that God has guided me through this whole radio world, because I had no idea all of y'all would be this way.
Right.
Because I haven't really, I met you for the first time at that event.
After 8 years.
After 8 years, right? I finally meet you, and I remember seeing you, and I had no idea about everything you've been. Me and you have chatted several times before, and I never knew. I'm still tripping off a lot of that, but all of you guys are just very powerful people. And I'm very honored to have met all of you, because y'all have made this radio show very epic from all the things that y'all have said and everything. So, how can people reach you? Okay.
So I am on Instagram at I am Kade Hill. That's Kade, as well as on my website www.myjado.com, and that has all the film and production, casting calls, things like that.
Okay.
And you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at 2 Fish 5 Loaves ENT.
2 Fish. Why'd you name your company 2 Fish 5 Loaves?
Well, I had originally came up with I guess my nickname, and it was Fleetwood Ministries. I forget what it was, and my wife was like, "No." She said, "Pray about it. You just rushing through it."
Right.
And so the Lord had me go to 2 Fish 5 Loaves, because with the little that He's given me, it's going to allow me to feed the multitude.
Yes.
And so it's the things that He's given me, the talents that He's given me, it's going to allow me to just reach the world. So.
Okay.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's I am Kristen, last name Hallom. So I am Kristen Hallom, and that's spelled HALLOM. And my website is KristenHallom.com.
Okay. You gave out your information several times. We'll go ahead.
You can find me on Instagram at Lillie Young. You can find me on Facebook at Lillie Young. You can find me on Twitter at Lillie Young TPC. And don't forget, go to my website, www.thepurplecinderella.com, and go to Amazon and get my books. Thank you, guys.
I'm so going to get your book.
We might have to put those books in the gift bags at the premiere.
We're going to have a book club on your book. My name is Wardell Richardson. You can find me under my name, Wardell Richardson, on every social media platform. Make sure you go and follow us on WCEGwood, the online Hollywood of the South, on Facebook. Follow us on WCEG Networks on Instagram. Make sure you follow Penny Rogers on Instagram. She be doing her thing, and before we leave, make sure you go. Also, this show will be on YouTube. We go YouTube live every time we do a show. If you go to YouTube, go to WCEG Network, you will find all the shows, including this show, and you can save it, send it, show your friends or whatever. So, before we leave, Kade, one bit of advice you can give all your listeners.
Something that I will say is definitely do not stand in your own way. Sometimes in this industry, we're our biggest critic and biggest enemy, like Kristen mentioned earlier. And just from my own experience, there are things that I feel like God may have wanted me to do. And I was like, no, the time's not right. The time's not right. But if you are aligned with your purpose and you know that this is what you need to do, don't wait for validation from other people because sometimes only you will see the vision.
Amen. John?
For me is don't allow your past to dictate your future. And when God gives you something, stop procrastinating and just go for it and just trust him. He'll surround you with the right people at the right time.
Right. Okay.
Mine would be trust God.
Took mine.
And recognize it was something you mentioned, I believe, earlier, that we already have everything we need inside of us. And so with that, recognizing that, understanding that, walk in it. Walk in that faithfulness. Walk in just being. Yeah. So trust God.
Okay. Okay. Lillie?
My advice to others is the safest place is in the will of God. Pray about everything. I pray about everything. If you're in a place where you don't feel safe, just pray, because prayer is so powerful. You may sometimes feel like, well, I've been praying to God for this or praying for that. Don't give up on praying. Prayer is my best friend. Prayer is my life. Prayer is my everything. So just pray and don't give up on God. Love you guys.
All right. And my little tidbit, trust God. And trust God, believe in yourself, and always focus. There's a lot of distractions, things that are distractors. Because whenever you're doing something positive, the devil's gonna always try to distract you and make you go opposite directions. One of the things that you were saying was, people's coming at you trying to buy your film. You was like, nah. Somebody tried to come at you and say they wanted the rights to it. You said no. So it's things like that the devil try to do to take away and to try to distract you. Stay focused, know the plan. Trust God. And trust God and just believe in yourself. Everything's gonna be all right. On that note, we're gonna end the night. I appreciate you guys for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
And I enjoyed you guys.
Oh, likewise.
I love what you're doing. Keep doing it.
Oh, man, likewise.
Thank you.
And Penny, you have anything? We good? Once again, before I go, on April the 26th, Women on the Rise All Access lunch party at B Social Bistro Bar, 8540 Roswell Road, Suite 100, Sandy Springs, 30350, and the Shattered premiere on May 4th. Directed by Omega Keys, produced by Kathy Taylor at the Hudson Grill, Midtown, 942 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30309. All these subjects up tonight. Okay. Yes. Text Connect to 741-741 for suicide prevention hotline. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. And we have the Georgia Coalition Against Domestic Violence. The number is 404-209-0280. And Men Stopping Domestic Violence, 1-866-717-9317. Man, we went over a lot of stuff tonight. Yeah. Touched on a lot of different subjects. So if you are watching this, please share this show with your friends, family. It could save lives. It could, make sure you go and get these books. Make sure you watch this movie, The White Rose, that's going to be coming out. A lot of great things going on with our people, and that's a wrap. We are out. My name is Wardell Richardson. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. See you next. And one more number. National Human Trafficking Hotline. 1-888-373-7888. That's the National Human Trafficking Hotline. 1-888-373-7888. We done? You sure? God bless you, and we are out.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Yeah. Let me do it. You wanna talk about it? We gon' talk about it. You wanna talk about it? That Hollywood of the South. We gon' talk about it. That Hollywood of the South. We gon' talk about it. That Hollywood of the South. We gon' talk about it.